Shealth uses predictive analytics to uncover hidden risk patterns and emerging health conditions across diverse populations. And this includes tracking of the chronic diseases and medication outcomes, also the lifestyle disorders and other behaviors as well, which actually influence the long-term health outcomes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 80th episode of the XDC MENA Podcast. I am Rebecca, your host. And if you've been following us, you will remember Dr. Sheetal, the founder and chief scientist of Shealth AI, in our previous episode, where we talk about how AI is transforming healthcare diagnostics. But in this episode, we are diving deeper into a whole new angle: how this AI or this technology intersects with healthcare insurance. And joining us today, we have Mr. Yashesh Sampat, an industry expert who will give us the insurance expertise into the table. Welcome both to our podcast.
Thank you, Rebecca.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Pleasure to have you guys. So yeah, to get us started, please introduce yourselves and tell us what are you currently focused on right now.
Well, Rebecca, as mentioned earlier, again, I'm introducing myself. Holding an experience of 20 years in molecular and diagnostic world. AI came as a innovation where I felt I should have my presence after that 20 years of healthcare industry in hand. So when it came AI, I thought, let me have some kind of, gain some education regarding AI, because everyone was doing AI, and I thought I should be something well educated to head AI into it. So I got the executive education from Harvard University, which was strategies and implementation of AI in healthcare. And that gave me a turning point, and then Shealth was born.
Mr. Yashesh?
Oh, wonderful. I think the lady has set the tone for the conversation, and it's very much a privilege to share the the podcast with the lady who is so much into healthcare industry. So a brief about myself: I'm just having little bit of 23 years of work ex into insurance industry. Third generation into insurance. My father, my uncle, my grandfathers all have had insurance, and pursued this journey way back in 2002, where I happened to enroll for a very specialist risk insurance management course in NMIMS in Mumbai. Topped that with all industry leaders teaching it. Then went on to become the youngest Indian to pass the Chartered Insurance Institute London's exam. Was invited to London to collect the award from India. Passed the fellowship exams at a very young age, and then pursued my professional careers with two leading insurers in my early stint, that is Royal Sundaram Alliance, that is Royal and Sun Alliance and Sundaram Group JV in India, and IFCO and Tokyo Marines JV, IFCO Tokyo, with different roles into underwriting, operations, marketing, heading the business units, and more about bringing about new revolutions in insurance products and distribution. And then happened to join Edelweiss, a large financial conglomerate in India, to drive insurance cross-sell within the ecosystem of financial sector. While pursuing all this, also I happen to be the visiting faculty for leading B schools in India. Almost 7 to 8,000 students have learned under me insurance so far, and are in different parts of the world at a key leadership positions. I'm the Goodwill Ambassador for the Chartered Insurance Institute, London for India as a country for last 5 years. Mentored lot many professionals to pursue insurance education, and been writing articles, authoring some books also for Insurance Institute of India and so on. And now it's great to be associated on as an advisory board to Shealth, where Dr. Sheetal and the team met. They said, let's bring about some disruption into the insurance sector through our baby Shealth. And that baby is not baby, trust me, while we do the conversation today, you will realize that baby is actually a very grown-up adult who is having a lot of responsibilities and can manage a lot of responsibilities together.
All right, wonderful intros. We have quite a lineup today. Dr. Sheetal, it's always a pleasure having you back to the podcast. And Mr. Yashesh, you're very humble, quite a little. 23 years is too long, right? And you have a very, very professional career history. So, yes, I think with your deep background in insurance and risk management, we'll be having a wonderful conversation today. So, yes, Dr. Sheetal, many people see AI in healthcare diagnostic just a tool, diagnostic tool. But in your perspective, how does Shealth go beyond that point, especially in cleaning the data and make it insurance ready?
That is, Rebecca, I feel such an important distinction, what you have mentioned. How Shell stands, you know, beyond this from the other industries and the other partners. That is really important what we are doing. And so we thought of first refining the data, because data is very important, because that is what you are implementing to your AI model. And to achieve that 100% accuracy, it has to go to that refinement. So data comes in every form. It would be like a handwritten note or PDF, and even the images which are not even clear. So this curating this data, anonymizing this data is a prime important role which we have taken into consideration right in the beginning. And when this data is, you are feeding this data to your AI model, it helps you to gain that 100% accuracy, which we are doing at our 3 pilot models, which I have mentioned earlier in our podcast.
So, Mr. Yashish, what are the persistent data or operational hurdles that you see today that makes claims, slow or even the risk management so inefficient?
I think that is the crux of the podcast, what you have said. Universally, in different markets in the world, Rebecca, the way the data comes to the adjudicators for settlement, the entire workflow journey of different documentations required for assessment of the claims, approving it, rejecting it, raising queries, is a manual driven process in most parts of the world. Even if technology today has been the disruptor, the documentation comes in jargons, in piecemeals, incomplete forms. You have to again go back, and whole trust factor in the business of insurance for the consumer still does not come into it because of the delay cause. It's not an intentional delay. It is a delay due to a manual intervention into the managing of the claims. And you can take a scenario, you need to see the ICD codes, you need to see what is the ailment, how much is the doctor charging. All that data is coming through uploading the Excel files, Word files, PDF files, somebody manually opening, calculating it on his laptop, then giving an approval, rejecting, raising a query. And the whole purpose of Shealth, which they are trying to come up with, is trying to solve this problem. Right? They are trying to make the job very, very simple, very much less time consuming, and solution driven assessment of the claims, going by data which is available with them, which either the carrier can provide or the universal data which they collected from different sources across the world. This makes job of the claims handler far more easier, and the whole experience of insurance claims management has a universal appeal then, saying, wow, this is what insurance is for and I'm experiencing it.
So, in short, a clean and a data structured data is transforming the claims process. As you mentioned, it will remove some delays, right? So, Dr. Sheetal, how does Shealth, solve these issues? How does Shealth transform this data and also, avoid these delays from claims?
So basically, when we get the data, it comes in an unstructured, messy format. So what Shell does it, like the patient inputs its data in the form of symptoms and even uploads images. This is then converted, processed, and converted into a structured data, which is like ready for the insurance standards ready for the claim approval. So this data, when this data is processed, it is gone through medical indicators, and it is processed with the correct diagnostic codes, and a well documented insurance ready format is available for you. So definitely this is like reducing the lag between the doctors and the admin staff to make a handwritten report. So there the time is reduced. So definitely it is significantly helping in reducing the turnaround times and reducing errors, surely. And then and this overall process is then having like a smooth, faster, and quicker claim approval, which is happening from the insurers, and which is benefiting the patients.
So, given what Dr. Sheetal mentioned, that Shealth has the ability to transform this process and claims, right? How game changing is it for insurers to have these reports validated against policies and medical databases instead of relying to manual reviews?
It's a good question, Rebecca. But before that, I'll ask one question to Dr. Sheetal on this.
Sure.
This entire developing Shealth took you how much time to solve this problem of the industry?
It's been like a process every day past 2 years. Every day there's a research going on, like settling, improvising your system, getting into the best of the 100% accuracy. So each day is a struggle to get the best data out and to apply it to your AI model to have the best outcome out of it.
Well, so, Rebecca, I think answer is what Dr. Sheetal has given. It's not that easy for any insurers or healthcare administrators in this country or any other country to build up such systems, such technology overnight. It is over last 2 years, day in, day out effort, which is actually creating the much required and necessary disruption in this market. So, to answer to your question specifically, that how it has been game changing or how it will be game changing, it is how the adaptability about this is taken by the sector as a whole. The sector has been very much traditional over the years, working this way. And with pieces, they have been trying to innovate into different functions of insurance. A technology like Shealth, which solves the problem more than the manual intervention, it is technology driven solution which is coming for an individual. Today, for assessing the claim, there are multiple stakeholders, right from healthcare providers to TPAs to intermediaries to clients to insurers. Just see the entire chain. So, if technology is bringing this disruption, it is trying to, more importantly, raise the alarm bell for any frauds or any jacked up claims which are coming to the insurance industry. So, that's the first biggest advantage which Shealth is trying to provide it back to the sector, going by the past data analytics. This gives much breather space for intelligent people working in this industry to not focus on repetitive task of seeing the data, approving it, sending manual queries, rejecting it. System is doing that for them in far more accurate way with error-free solutions, and these intelligent people can be far more utilized better for more complex risk solutions or strategic or product management. This, with the whole crux being your consumer experience is becoming smoother, and you are telling that, hey, your claim settlement, which was like a 5 hours or a 6 hours process, once you are about to go home, is coming down to as quicker as 50 minutes, 40 minutes, or 1 hour because of the effective use of Shealth.
So essentially, this automation not only speeds up the process, but it also removes human error, as you have said.
Exactly.
All right. Dr. Sheetal, you mentioned that Shealth runs predictive analytics on millions of patient records to uncover trends. How does this level of data intelligence help insurers to make these policies?
Shealth uses predictive analytics to uncover hidden risk patterns and emerging health conditions across diverse populations. And this include tracking of the chronic diseases, and medication outcomes, also the lifestyle disorders, and other behaviors as well, which actually influence the long term health outcomes.
Wonderful. I think what Dr. Sheetal just said about diversity, Rebecca, and how health influences the entire life cycle and give predictive data analytics, which is so important in today's era. Insurance can help you fund your healthcare expenses, but where is a ray of hope for a preventative healthcare while your treatment is going on? I think that's what Shealth is trying to solve the problem, and this will give a lot of choices on the platter for the consumer to adopt to from the insurers offerings.
For insurers, this means not using they can stop using the actual tables and build up a dynamic risk profile, and the policies can be tailored to each patient's journey requirements, which is like adjusting the coverage and providing wellness incentives to that. So basically it's about making insurance not just responsive but also intelligent.
So, Mr. Yashesh, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Is the industry ready for the dynamic pricing and real-time risk adjustment? And how do you see like something like Shealth paving its way for policies?
In fact, it's a very good question, Rebecca. The adaptability is all in the mindset. Okay. The mindset of the insurance sector, that whether they want to come out of the traditional pricing models, traditional actuarial pricing philosophies, going by the past data available in your systems on Excels, and predicting the prices as per the tabular age band formats or the group experience, or use technologies, systems provided by players like Shealth in this world, who are actually trying to make your job so much simpler that they are having the data repository with them. Your own insurer's data with full confidentiality can be maintained, and the predictive analysis, the predictive forecast, the customization can all be done by insurers across the globe, be it any market. Just to take an example, you can have a state level policies in different countries of the world. You need not have a standard retail healthcare policies which you can plan it and just roll it out what you've been doing for X number of years. If you have the data, if you have the predictive forecasting analysis provided by Shell, you can just in minutes know what is the frequency, what is the severity of the claim which is likely to come, going by your past own book, what you have underwritten, or the healthcare costs in your region, and customize it and give it. So, to answer to your question, Rebecca, it is a two-way strategy. One is, let's be very frank to this, overnight you'll not have a transformation coming to this insurance sector from, if I just say Shealth is trying to do this. The mindset of the insurance sector has to be open to adapt to something like this. And that mindset can be only open when they'll see the results which have been already proven over the research of last 2 years by working with leading healthcare providers by Shealth. Once you know, you need to believe that yes, this will help us to create the change the way we are doing our business and allowing us to get more customers, retain more customers, and at the same time make money by controlling the excessive healthcare costs, if any, coming from different pockets of the ecosystem. So, retail, yes, you can try to do it. Group, far more bigger pie, lot of data, can have a different predictive analysis about picking up the group businesses. So, it's a both way strategy. Try, test, experiment, roll it out, learn, unlearn, learn. That's what insurance is all about, and that's what Shealth will try to make this vision and mission of yours realize.
So, you mentioned that both retailers and insurers must be open-minded in order to trust this technology, right?
Exactly.
And since you we touching the point of Trust. Let's talk about the privacy. I know, Dr. Sheetal, you've mentioned already how you protect customer policy in the previous podcast, but in this that touches or involves insurers. How do you make sure that Shealth AI is only sharing the rightful data to the insurers?
Shealth has its own data repository, so its data privacy is very important, and we have taken like care to maintain its data privacy purely by anonymizing the data, masking it, means completely erasing the details and giving a unique identification to it. We are also using GDPR and HIPAA frameworks for maintaining the privacy. This way, privacy is never sacrificed for performance and trust remains intact.
So clearly, Shelf is prioritizing privacy at every step, right? Data is secured, and also it's handled with proper consent, right?
Correct.
So yes, Mr. Yashesh, in your standpoint, how critical is this balance of privacy versus actionable insights? For insurers to start trusting or adopting the solutions like Shelf.
This is the most important thing for any insurer or vendor to partner with Shealth if they have to. They need to get the confidence, and the results have to be visible in front of them, that if they are partnering with Shealth, the data is into the safest hands in order to comply with the law of the land, in order to comply with the data privacy acts which are getting passed globally, because the consumer data is extremely sensitive and they would never want their consumer data to be misused. You come across multiple cyber attacks news which are around the world, and the data is going for a toss. Today a consumer is not wanting his even the name or his any ailment data to go to anybody else. So how insurers are layering on technology solutions provided by Shealth, how Shealth is complementing it back by showing that yes, we are covering you 360-degree onto all aspects of data protection. And in this persuasion of the eventual data refinement and giving the predictive analysis or giving the pricing models, data privacy is giving them much necessary comfort to insurers. So, insurers across the globe, while you are seeing this podcast, trust me, they have built a very, very robust data protection solutions, and your data will not be available on any public domains. It will be your own data, and you will get the much needed results which you are never got it so far by partnering with Shell.
Yeah. So how do you envision AI into healthcare and even insurance claims?
I would say AI is just not as a part of the claims. Shell can actually try to make the underwriting, which we discussed in the earlier part of this podcast, through predictive analysis, forecasting, far more a realistic thing. Currently, insurers either refer to Excel sheets for the age bands of pricing in healthcare, or they go via their own developed underwriting calculation tools where they put the data and premium is calculated. AI can actually make the calculation, the turnaround time to assess the risk and price it in the fair way far more quicker. That's one aspect. Secondly, in the entire workflow of accepting a proposal, rejecting a proposal, policy documentation, issuance, and delivering it, AI can make it far more smoother experience than what it is currently. And AI definitely in terms of claims. Today, any insurer or any healthcare administrator, what are his KRA? Smooth claim settlement, happy customer, controlling the claims costs. So AI will actually try to one, bring about controlling the claim costs wherever if there's a leakage in terms of excessive costs or jacked up claims which may come up to it, going by the past data and then you relate it to the current data. AI will give that forecast. AI will give that alarm bell that hey, this is something which is to your attention as a claims adjudicator. AI will actually make the job of a manual intervention which people are doing for calculation of the claims and then approving it and giving it the okays to the providers or to the TPAs from an insurer side that yes, this is what the amount is, this is what you should approve to it. Thirdly, in terms of Insurance, again, insurance is not something which is only for underwriting of the risk and paying the claims against that. Insurance has to play the role of a preventative healthcare, and Shealth is trying to solve that also the way it has to be solved. Now, I'm sure the listeners on the podcast would be thinking that why is everywhere it's being spoken Shealth? Because Shealth has created this which the sector is wanting. And in terms of solving it, in terms of giving the preventative healthcare, take a scenario today if somebody is having a heart related issue and his health checkup is done at a frequent interval recommended by the doctor. You can't have the time or the availability of the doctor every time and now again when you want to visit to it. The doctors are the busiest among everybody in this world. So that timeline to visit a doctor again for some opinion or a checkup, AI in healthcare, AI preventative healthcare will solve that for you. The reports, the statistics, the status of your health after seeing the reports, uploading a reports and getting results in seconds, just not what you get in other portals across the world, or uploading your health x-ray reports and actually the identifying the severity of the ailment. What should be the preventative healthcare? Customer wants insurance just not to fund them. They want a provider who cares for them. And that care is just not financial care, that care is preventative health care. And AI is not eliminating anybody into this chain. AI is helping for everybody in this chain to do their job far more effective and far more in a smarter, cost saving way.
Dr. Sheetal, you have created this wonderful and powerful technology for the past 2 years. Now, a lot of people will be watching this podcast globally. And if there will be insurers or healthcare platforms who wants to know how powerful your platform is, how can they reach out to you?
I think everyone can reach out to us through the Shealth website and our LinkedIn account, and wherein you can have all the information which is there available, and you can contact us directly for any queries.
I think, as Dr. Sheetal has just mentioned, all the insurers across the world, or the intermediaries of large broking firms, or the healthcare TPAs, right? Shealth is there for all for you, right? And you will just wonder that are they one among the many, or they are one actually among the many? They are the one, right? So if you can relate to either of this and you believe among the many, they are the one who will help you to solve your problems and make you a far more better service provider and keep your customers happy, you can visit to the Shell's website which is there, or you can go to their LinkedIn page, or alternatively you can have a detailed conversations. I am there to help Shell here into this journey, so I am available on LinkedIn and Twitter. My Yashesh Sampat is my LinkedIn handle, and we can connect and we can have a full-fledged demo being done for you with your claims adjudication team, your underwriting team, your product team, your actuarial team, and each segment of this entire uh, journey and entire different functions which you are operating for can have detailed separate conversations. Come to Shealth with your problem statement. Come to Shealth that what you are not being able to solve, or it is taking too much of a time for you, but you still have the solution. And Shealth will actually make that solution far more effective, far more cost effective. I think every partner would want to know whether it's too costly or whether it's very reasonable. My clear comment would be it would be cost effective, and it is not a one time activity which you will do it. It's an evolving activity of being associated with Shell. We can have a demos as mentioned by Sheetal also, that it can be set with your team one on one, or happy that you can visit the Dubai office, or we can plan a meeting at your respective offices as we move ahead into this journey. Come together, collaborate. Let's make the sector a far more superior, cost saving one, where more and more happy customers are there and more leakages get controlled and insurers make actually more money. And that's what we want to be all into, a happy world.
All of the links will be placed under the video description. And yes, Mr. Yashesh, this is my final question to you. If there's one takeaway that you'd want people, whether it's insurers, providers, or patients, one takeaway that they'll take it from this interview, what would that be?
I think there are many takeaways, to be very frank, Rebecca. But one takeaway, if I have to just put it very clearly, is AI is making your life far more easier, and it's not a competition to you in your day to day activities. It is trying to do that all manual intervention work, which is a repetitive, and making your valuable time all into being deployed into that repetitive work eliminated, error free, and actually speaking, uh, you need to experience what Shealth is, and then the results will be in front of you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yashesh. Dr. Sheetal, thank
Thank
you.
you, Rebecca.
For anyone of you out there who wants to know more about XDC Network, go to zinfin.org or post your question to our forum called xdc.dev. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast, and see you on the next one.